My name is Robert Card. This is my story, and I am writing it to you while on the run from the police, in a cabin in the woods. I will tell you my story without lies and with sincerity. I will tell you the reason for my actions and where it originated. I ask you to listen to my story to the end, so that you and your children will not repeat my mistakes. Ever since I was a child, I've heard strange sounds like whispers, like quiet voices that no one but me could hear. At first I tried to ignore them. I thought they were just a child's imagination, but as I got older they got louder and more insistent. These voices began to tell me what to do, pointing me down a path I would never have ventured on my own. I grew up in a small town in Maine where everyone knew each other. I was a normal kid, maybe a little withdrawn, but never caused any trouble. Serving in the military was my opportunity to get away from it all, the small town and the perpetual whispers. I became part of the National Guard, trained as a rifleman, and even reached certain heights working as an instructor. But those voices didn't go away. They got louder. I was admitted to psychiatric hospitals twice, but all to no avail. Doctors said it was schizophrenia, that it was treatable, but no medication could drown out the whispers that had become part of me. The last time I spent a fortnight in an institution felt like an eternity. After I was discharged, I returned home to Lewiston. I tried to live a normal life, to work, to make a living, but the whispers wouldn't leave me. They talked about what I had to do, that I had to cleanse the world of evil, that there were only enemies around me. I knew it wasn't true, but the voices were convincing. They told me what to do, where to go, and I could not resist. One day I woke up with a clear realization of what I had to do. I put on a hooded sweatshirt, grabbed my assault rifle, and headed to the bar. As I entered that night, voices began to shout. They insisted that I start shooting. I couldn't resist. In the bar, bowling alley and Schemengees restaurant, I opened fire. It was like a fog. I felt nothing but commands coming from inside me. I saw the people, their fear, their pain, but I couldn't stop. I fired again and again until I heard the sirens. The cops showed up quickly, but by then it was too late. I ran, hiding, but I knew I wouldn't last much longer. I hid in the woods, surrounded by darkness and the whispers that had become my only companions. They were deafeningly loud in the silence of the night, telling me that I had done the right thing, that I had cleansed the world of evil. I knew it was a lie, but the voices were too convincing. As I hid, I was haunted by the memories of those I had killed. I saw their faces, heard their screams, and it was unbearable. I realized that I would never be able to rid myself of these visions, of the guilt that would haunt me for the rest of my life. Eventually, the police found me. They surrounded my shelter, and I knew it was the end. I surrendered, knowing that I could no longer live with those voices, with that pain. Now, as I write this, I realize that I will never be able to atone for my sins. The voices that told me what to do have ruined my life and the lives of so many others. I became their puppet, lost my humanity. In the silence of the cell, I hear the same whispers that brought me here. They tell me that I made the right choice, that I have cleansed the world, but I know the truth. I have become a monster, and that is what I will have to live with for the rest of my life. My story is a warning. The voices in your head can lead to terrible consequences, and no amount of treatment can completely silence them. I am living proof that sometimes the darkness within us is stronger than the light, and that darkness can destroy everything in its path. The past is now an inseparable part of me, a stigma I will carry for the rest of my life. In my mind, the voices continue to speak, whispering their orders, but now I have time to think, to reflect and try to understand where I went wrong. Diving into my memories, I try to find that moment when everything went wrong, when the voices became stronger than me. Maybe it happened in the army when I was under stress and pressure. Maybe it started as a child when I felt lonely and isolated. But whatever the reason, the result remained the same. In the army, I found my purpose, but with that purpose came darkness. The voices became my comrades. They reminded me of my mission, of what I must do. I tried to fight them, but they always found a way to break through the walls I built in my mind. Every day I remember the faces of those I killed. I see their eyes filled with horror and incomprehension, and it torments me more than any words can. I realize that no words of apology or remorse will bring them back to life or comfort their families. time in prison stretches slowly, but I try to use it to think and write. I write these lines so others can understand, so they can see what the uncontrolled darkness within us can lead to. The voices in my head have become a part of me, and I know they will never go away. But I also know that I can use my words to warn others, to help them realize that sometimes you need to seek help before it's too late. This story is my confession, my penance. I hope that it can prevent similar tragedies in the future, that it will be a warning to those who feel the darkness within themselves. Sometimes to win, you have to admit your weakness and seek help. I still hear voices in the back of my mind, but now I know I can fight them. I have found a way to express my thoughts and feelings through writing, and it helps me cope with the darkness. I realize that I can never atone for my sins, but I can try to prevent similar tragedies in the future. I write these words in the hope that someone reading them may be able to avoid the fate that befell me. I was weak. I succumbed to the dark side of my mind, and innocent people paid the price. My story is a warning to fight the darkness, to seek help, and to not let the voices within you control your life. Now, sitting in the silence of the cell, I realize that each of us is responsible for our actions, our thoughts and our actions. We cannot blame others or circumstances. We must look deep within ourselves and seek answers there. My story is a journey of self-understanding, of admitting my mistakes and trying to correct them through words and reflection. Let my confession be a warning to all who feel the darkness within themselves. Fight it. Don't let it take over your life. Seek help. Talk to your loved ones. Trust your doctors. This is the only way to prevent such tragedies and preserve your humanity.